Hey everybody, welcome to Life Inside Hell. It's me, Brother Wild Bill, coming to you from inside the most dangerous prison in the Western Hemisphere. This is my prison audio diary from 2006 until 2010. I was Central America's premier professional killer. I've been in prison for 13 years on a 46-year sentence for quintuple homicide. That means that's 5 of them, for those of you who don't know. So this is my audio diary. I'm in the most dangerous part of the most dangerous prison. I'm an American here in the Republic of Panama. It's the most dangerous prison. Central America's most dangerous prison. So there are a lot of things happened here. I'm in a place called Sector C, which is the most difficult section of the most difficult prison. When I say difficult, I mean violent and with the lack of human rights. So they brought an American guy here, a guy from Florida. I won't say his name, just to give him, a anonymity, because I don't know if he'd want anybody to know he was here or not. He's a 34-year-old black young man, really cool guy. I really get along with him. I didn't realize how much. I wanted to say something. I want you to listen to what I'm about to say, because this is interesting as hell. I've been considering it. So they brought him to me night before last and asked me to take care of him because he doesn't speak Spanish. Really nice kid. I mean, I say he's 30. I call him a kid. He's 34 years old. I'm only 43. I'm only a few years older than him, but I don't know. I feel like everybody's daddy. So anyway, baby, I'm your daddy, baby. Anyway, that was for the girls. So anyway, they brought me. Let's call him John. That's not his name, but let's call him John. Anyway, they brought me John. John has some Panamanian roots, but he grew up in the normal gangster type culture from Florida. He's an African American male, and I'm a white cracker from Western North Carolina up in the mountains, a bunch of rednecks. Now, this is interesting. I want you to think about this for a moment. It'll help you understand the situation a little bit better. Now, inside the United States, there probably couldn't be 2 men, grown men, strong men, more opposite and more far apart culturally than me and John. John's really far apart from me culturally. He grew up in an urban environment. I grew up in a rural environment. He's African American. I'm white. He came from gangster culture. I came from like farming community. And even though that we are so different, I have so much more in common with him than I do with these Panamanians here. I mean, it was like when he come in and I went down and talked to him, I went down to say hey, and it was like, man, both of us just like reach out one to another like, wow, an American in this shithole here, and it was like, it was an interesting thing for me, actually. It made me miss home so fucking bad, So like today, I stood outside the cell, and so I've been taking care of him, literally, like cooking his meals and doing stuff, because he's locked in. He can't do anything for himself right now because he's not allowed out for 14 days. When you come in here new, they lock you down for 14 days. So like I'm like, just give me the food from the state and I'll go make it better, And so I take it, put it in the stove, put some butter and shit, make it better food. And it's been, and here's some books. He's so excited. Thank God for books. He was in one of these little country jails for 2 weeks in a really bad situation, and he come here, and now he's got a little bit. Even though he's locked in alone, he's alone. He doesn't have anybody fucking with him, So he can at least read a book and be cool. So I gave him an old John Grisham book I got, which is good, Sycamore Row, a good book actually. So I gave him that book, and he's reading it, and I'm helping him, in the best way I can with his communication issues, speaking to his fiancée in the States. And so he's got a serious problem. And he's being extradited back to the United States. That's why he's here. I want to talk about that for a minute. Why would they put somebody in dreaded Sector C that's being extradited? And the answer is the Americans love Sector C. They want to stick everybody that's up for extradition in Sector C so that they won't resist. What do I mean by that? Well, you take some battle-hardened jihadist and you stick him in Sector C with these fucking Panamanian gangsters. I love the Panamanian gangsters, don't get me wrong. I mean, I don't want to talk bad about them, but they're a difficult bunch to be around, and they're dangerous as hell, and there's a lot of them. So you stick a guy. Let's say the Americans grab some Pakistani jihadist here in Panama, which happens all the time, and they cram his ass into Panama, into here, where the Panamanians grab him, put a knife to his throat, and tell him, call your family, and tell them we want $20,000 so we won't kill you. And the guy's like freaked out, he doesn't know what to do. So after 6 or 8 months of that sort of behavior, the Americans being done to him every day, and the lack of food and the lack of respect in all forms, the Americans come and say, don't you want to come back to America with us and cooperate? And almost everybody goes. There was a Russian guy here named Norman, a dear friend of mine. Like a really dear friend of mine. And Norman fought it for a year and a half and finally gave in and went back, on extradition to Estonia. So Sector C is a soft torture facility that the foreign first world nations use. Like you get picked up on a Interpol red notice, and they bring you here and drop you off here in hell and let you cook a little while, and then they come to see you and say, don't you want to come on back to the United States and accept your time and live in a good prison? And most people say, yes, I do. And so that's how Sector C works. Another thing that happened to me today, I've already put it on here. The episode just before this talked about the embassy. I spoke to a lady, a federal public defender in the United States, and I'm speaking to her about maybe being transferred to the United States. I'm exploring that option, which looks really good as well. I want to be honest with you. The more I explore it, the more it looks like it's what I want to do. So I spoke to her via email, and she got in contact with the embassy today. And I read the letter in the episode just before this one. I read the letter that I wrote to the embassy, how the embassy is like completely abandoned me altogether and doesn't want to help me and do anything and doesn't care about and like they're visiting the other American prisoners, but they won't visit me, and I don't understand what I've done. I certainly haven't been rude to the American embassy at any time or tried to, anyway, or done anything for any reason. And like, the Panamanian government certainly isn't ignoring me the way that the American government is. And so I didn't know what to do. Anyway, so she called them, and like 15 minutes after she called them, they sent me an email and said, we'll be there in 2 weeks. So that was good news. That was really good news. And so what I'm trying to talk to them about is going back to the United States on the treaty. And she seems to think the federal, her name is Katz, I think, Katze. I don't know how you say it. I would think it would be Katz. I think it would be pronounced Katz. Miss Katz, the lawyer, thinks that my situation would be very vastly improved, especially from all the programs that I'm involved in, the study, work, running the church. These things would dramatically lower my security rating and would get me into a good facility, a good prison facility in the United States, one that may be not so high in security levels and have quite a bit of privileges. Well, anyway, so that's the goals. Those are the things that are going on. So I'm talking to John. This is not his name, but John, my new buddy. Yesterday was our first full day together. Yesterday, and got to know each other and get him set up to be able to get some food and stuff. And I mean, like, this poor old boy, he came in here, he had nothing. He came in with a t-shirt and a pair of shorts and flip-flops. That's it. He didn't have nothing. So we got him got him all this. I had an extra mattress that I've been using. I put it on the floor at night so that when I walk around, it's nice and soft on my feet. Anyway, so I took that mattress and washed the sheets and gave him a mattress with the sheets. He didn't have anything. He'd been sleeping on concrete. Then I gave him, all of us together, we pulled in together, and I got him some food. I gave him my food out of mine. I had quite a bit of food because I've had several food deliveries recently, so I gave him a bunch of food. And I've been cooking some good food. He's like, thank God, man, God. He's like starving to death. He's a strong guy, he's like a boxer. He's like built, he's a really strong fellow. He's tall, taller than I am. He's thin, tall, but like muscular, And so he's starving to death. And so today I made a soup, a real good beef soup with a bunch of beef in it too. And he was like, "Fuck, that's so good." And so the only thing is he's trying to acclimate to the heat. Now that's funny. A Florida boy dying in the heat here. You'd think that Florida's even hotter than here, but there ain't no air conditioning here. It's all, and the air is stagnant. So anyway, so that's what we got going on. We're taking care of John. We got the embassy caught the embassy with their britches down, and now they got to come and see me, even though they don't love me, they hate me, but they got to come and see me anyway. The federal defense attorney, federal public defender, really nice lady, very, very, very helpful. So maybe a few good things. It's time, ain't it? It's time for there to be a little bit of some good change in my favor. So I love each and every one of you for listening. Thanks for listening. Yeah, I'll tell you something. I wanted to address something real fast. If you don't like me, don't fucking listen to me. Would you please go away? People write me shit all the time like I don't really give a fuck about your opinion, to be honest with you. And if you don't like me, what the hell are you doing listening to this? Like, I don't know. Like, for instance, I don't like Andrew Tate. I think he's a douchebag, so I don't listen to him, you know? I don't listen to him. And I like Sam Smith. What a weirdo. I don't like nothing he's got, and nothing about him or nothing, and so I don't listen to him, you know? So, if you don't like Wild Bill, won't you kindly go fuck off, you know? Please? And leave me the hell alone. And for the rest of you that comment such wonderful things, I love you guys. Please like, subscribe, and comment to this channel, because this is my prison audio diary. I'm the pastor of the church in hell. That's me. If you pull the description box down, you can find ways to contact me directly. I wanted to thank my friend Rob. Rob contributed of his own sustenance to me financially recently. A fellow named Rob, and he's a really nice guy. And I don't want to call him out, because I don't know if he wants to be mentioned or not, but I wanted to thank him on the show anyway for doing that. Anybody that wants to help me financially, I really need it, because to be honest with you, food and stuff here, you got to buy it. They don't give it to you free. There's no food, no toiletries, they don't give you toilet paper. They don't give nothing to wipe your ass with here, so you got to buy it all. So anyway, thanks guys, love you guys. Pull the description box down if you want to contact me for any reason at all. If you know anybody that is interested in having me on their show, I do shows. I haven't done any in a long time. I'm actually working right now with a guy about a really big show that we're putting out about my life. My life story is going to come out in about July. So you guys hang out with that. It's going to be a bombshell. I'm excited about that one. And this is a guy that does the podcast 1 Minute Remaining, Jack from 1 Minute Remaining. So I'm excited about that show. When that show comes out, I'll direct everybody over there. You want to contact me, pull the description box down. There's Facebook, Instagram in the description box. If you want to know more about me, there's a Wikipedia link there. Pull that down, check it out. Also, I wrote a book called Long Live the King Wild Bill. It's another way you can support me. Every time you buy a book, I get $4 and change, like $4.38 or something like that. That's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. And also, the link is in the description box. Thanks, guys. Love you guys. Thanks for hanging around.